Hi guys, I just wanted to do a video because I was a bit silly the other day. Well, I wasn't silly, I was trying to be honest about the ups and downs of toxic relationships. Some people, you know, I've got no right to call. I think everybody can be toxic, can't they? But I really wanted to blame other people for their toxic behaviour and their imperfectionness. I'm afraid it is just a reflection of my own imperfections as well, and that's where I think we're all getting to, isn't it? That we're all one, and as much as I try and point blame on other people for the same loops that I can go round and round in my life, it's my decision as well. And usually people have looped behaviours. Not that I was even necessarily talking about me the other day, I'm just talking about behaviours in general. When we're stuck in loops with people, we try and say, oh, it was him, oh, it was her, and oh, they treated me like this. And we all like to sort of say, this is how I feel, and that person's done something wrong to me. And I've witnessed people in the past give up on relationships very fast after having children because something wasn't right and they didn't feel respected. And I've witnessed someone lose a relationship after having a toddler, and then they wanted that person back, and a couple of months later, and that person had moved on quickly. And when you make those decisions that we can make very quickly to give up on people, whether it's your mum, your brother, your sister, your partner, or you're giving up on yourself even, you know, like we can all make the decision to give up on ourselves, and it's just constant riding out of decisions, isn't it? And rebalancing. And as much as I felt silly for saying that people are toxic and treating people like this and that and the other, but then I'm always big enough. This is probably why I've managed to have a relationship for 20 years. But I'm big enough to be able to sit back for a couple of days and realise that what I've done to cause that behaviour. And I'm also willing to also nurture certain people's scars, and certain people that I've talked to. Actually, I've got a couple of people in my life that are like this. They were brought up without either a mum or a dad, like literally left them when they were like 3 and 7 and just odd ages, left them. So it's like insecurities being pulled over to adulthood. And believe me, in my life, there's enough stuff to get you aggravated about, especially when you have 4 children. It's always busy, and it's always tea time, and it's always stuff to get done. But this person that I was calling toxic the other day is actually my best friend, and he's actually my other half of my soul, really. And I'm not even going to deny that of course, if we ended up splitting up, or that we could both have different lives, but why would I want to do that when I've got this life and he is my best friend? And I wasn't even just on about him the other day. It's a lot of people around me in my life. But to be honest with you, like I said, when I was calling other people toxic, I was actually basically saying I'm fed up with my own toxicity. Is that a word? Toxicity. Being reflected back in my face. And as much as if I wanted to run away from this toxicity, I could blame it on a relationship. But then I'd probably take my own toxicity into another relationship, and then I'd blame it on that person as well. So it's just about being a bit bigger and realising that usually someone's acted a certain way because of either their past, or they need help, or they need to be left alone, or it's probably something you've done as well. And it's all being reflected back at you. If I knew how to stop my loops of toxic behaviour, I would. No, to be honest with you, I know how to stop my toxic behaviour, but sometimes, like I heard someone admit the other day, sometimes you're quite comfortable in your old behaviours, and you sort of want to keep stroking them because you call them who you are. And even if you don't know it, you can feel it building up, and you can feel it coming round to a loop. Usually something to do with the moon or time of the month or whatever. No, but you know, it's just, I don't know how to break unhealthy loops. And I am doing better each year. And, you know, we all grow up. I'm 33 and I'm still a bit of a baby. But I've got different levels of mental health issues in my family, ranging from bipolar to autism to ADHD to Asperger's. And I would say I sit in the middle of a lot of it, where I've never ever been labelled as someone that can't cope or someone that can't. I'm pretty straight, you know, I'm not any of those. But I am surrounded by people with mental health issues, and it's just about realising that we are all still getting to a place, aren't we? And we have to face our own. I did sound mental then, didn't I? But you know, it's like any old family, especially these days, where people claim all sorts of mental health illnesses. But I am just basically just trying to point out is, before you go chucking labels at someone else around you, remember that that is probably a reflection of you as well, and that usually if you are sensible enough to go into a bit of deeper thinking over a couple of days, you can usually see why someone's behaved the way they've behaved, and it's usually a reflection back at you of some way. So I'm just saying, be honest, guys, and don't be an attention seeker like me the other day, when you're just all up your own bum trying to have a paddy basically like a child. And I don't think I'll ever break having paddies, even when I'm in my 70s or 80s, especially me and my partner. If we make it that long, we'd probably always be bickering in our chairs. bit like the twits, you know, but no one ever wants to end up like the twits. If you ever end up like the twits, then you've gone too far in staying in your relationship. But this person that I was slagging off the other day, mate, I'm worse than them, okay? So this is what I'm just going to basically put it out there. Just like any old family, I have got so many different personalities in my family. He's the groundedness of me, so I should never have slagged him off. And yeah, should have just slagged myself off. I should have just sat there and went, I'm fed up of my own toxicity. Because I can be a bit much as well. Like, I was trying to be in the garden with my headphones in, ignoring the children, making a lot of noise, and they can make a lot of noise. It's putting extra pressure on somebody. So I'm going to leave it there, because that real toxic person's just walked in, and I'm actually going to help out with tea properly tonight. No, I'm only joking, right? But guys, just keep your head strong. Stop putting blame on everybody else when things go a little bit tits up, and have some patience. Take some deep breaths. Yeah. Good luck and have a nice April. Maybe see you tomorrow to talk more bollocks. You just never know. Cheers. I got to stop doing these videos. Jake.